What's your favorite podcast, Word?
You know that One Nation?
This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Ladder, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, that's on the regular dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
We got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Hey, folks. Welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd. Here me out, Rich Lotto. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. I finally got my diagnosis this week as we begin Unk Nation Radio here.
Oh, you're back. Oh, boy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I had forgot. For 1 second, I was like, what the? Like, this nigga sick and never told me. And then even I don't know if people saw this, but like I made a face like, what kind of diagnosis? Like as if Anyway, so what's up with your back, Rich?
So I have something called radiculopathy.
So
I know I'm a
back.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I have like lumbar radiculopathy. So like specifically like the lower back and sciatica.
So which vertebrae?
L5.
Oh, welcome to the club, Rich.
Yep. They say you're gonna
have
this shit till you die. Look. They say you're gonna have this shit till you die. And I was like, well, that's awesome. So I begin PT on the 25th, and then I'm gonna take it from there. But it's gonna be. It hasn't been as bad as it had been when I was down there and everything like that. But it's still some bull. Haven't been able to train or anything. So yeah, that's gonna suck going back eventually when I do. But Unk Nation Radio here.
Yeah, we both got bad backs. Yeah.
Shout out to my man Corey too. Sent him the O&R shirt. My man in Detroit, that was front row. Right. It should be in the mail for you. I would say over the next week. I would say, let me know when you get it.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Yeah, they're saying, dang, officially over for Rich Train to wrestle. Yeah, man, it's that one been out the window. My boy.
I don't recall that ever happening. People making up lore.
Oh yeah, man. And we're the guy. I guess like we will begin. With this question here. Big up, Rich and James. What would you guys do with $12 billion?
Okay. It's like $12 billion. Okay. I mean, if I had $12 billion, I'd do much like Jerry Buss said. I would have bought the Lakers.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, I guess that's where we start, right?
Yeah.
It's so strange. If we did this shit like less than a year ago, the Los Angeles Lakers have been sold from Mark Walter, and I forgot the name of the capital of the group, the investment group that held it. They also own the Dodgers, what the official name of it was. But he sold that after he bought it officially about a year or less than 15 months ago. He's resold it to Joshua Kushner and Bob Iger. Bob Iger, formerly the CEO of Disney, ABC, ESPN, all of that. And Joshua Kushner, brother of Jared Kushner. Jared Kushner, the son-in-law of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Now, politically, they're different. They do have business together. They own companies together. But yeah, he's a venture capitalist, which is what you want to hear about when your franchise gets sold. Someone in private equity like Walter was, and now Joshua Kushner. I don't know what to make of this. This Rich sent this to me, and I looked at it, and my first thought was, "What the fuck?" So, Rich, you're the Lakers fan, so you tell me how you feel or what your thoughts were,
bro. I was like full ready to go off into the Mark Walter era, and like everything that they had going, like they were doing a lot of business to like overturn like the entertainment side of the team with all the sponsorships, and then or overhauling the coaching positions, the scouting stuff. They were taking.
They vamped up the analytics department too. I heard about that.
Yeah, they were doing all this stuff down to the G League, the assistant coaches. You're basically like building this pipeline, essentially, like all stuff I always want to hear about with like, you know, your teams and all that. Now, when it's just sold to Bob in the span of allegedly like 48 hours, Bob Iger, and I see the last name Kushner at first. I'm like, hold on, what? And I was just confused. I didn't know what was happening. Now, the last couple weeks, I had heard about Mark Walter being under investigation for the assets.
Sorry, remember
some type of scamming going on.
Remember, I'll explain it a little bit deeper than you, but when you said he's under investigation, every time I've heard that the last day or so, it makes me think of that Stephen A. Smith cameo on I think it was General Hospital. He's basically working for Feds. He goes,
"Yes,
you're under surveillance."
Yes,
but
that's how I feel when Tony Khan likes one of my tweets.
Oh yeah,
that's how I always feel. Yeah,
okay,
it's happened multiple times.
Yeah, that's yeah. At this point, yeah, they be messaging you, but But,
Tony Khan does not message me, everybody. He does not message me.
Not Tony Khan, but the Rass would be... Rich be telling me the Rass be hitting him. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I'm glad you got that, bro. If I don't like your shit, I don't like your shit. It is what it is. But, Mark Walter, like, because he has a bunch of his businesses is in insurance. So I was listening to Windhorse and Ramona Shelburne and Tim Bontemps on Windhorse podcast this morning, and he was saying that like the investigation involved some money involving his insurance businesses. As far as like it was a lot of when you have a bunch of money and a bunch of companies, you can sometimes put money in other things that weren't meant to be there, and they're looking at him like, why is your insurance money not where it's supposed to be? Because obviously it's insurance. That's a big fucking deal. So like. It could help you. You need 2.5, in theory, quote unquote, valuations worth of $2.5 billion. So you can put money back where it belongs, or whatever else. But the word is like on Sunday, Kushner and Iger gave a call because they were in the bidding process of trying to get the Vegas team, the expansion Vegas team, and that is up in the $9 billion range. Or no, like I think it's $7 billion range at this point. So Iger and Kushner said to themselves basically, well, if it's gonna get to fucking 9 at some point, and we know that Mark Walter is he's under surveillance. Then let's see if we can may as well get the Lakers because it's the fucking Lakers. So they told him he had like either 48 hours or 72 hours, either 2 or 3 days, and literally on Sunday. He got that offer
in, bro.
And basically, Mark Walter said, "Fuck it, I'm out." But the thing is, it's not a distressed asset because Walter's getting more money for it than he put in.
Yeah,
it's
going up.
It's a thing where he was going. How people talk about actions, not words. I'm big on that, right? As far as like, you can say whatever you want. What you do is different. If it don't match. There's something going on. I'm more likely to believe the actions than the words. And as we were talking about all the stuff he was putting into the Lakers, this wasn't I was trying to flip it like a house, or I was just treating the Lakers like it was a blunt. Like, nah, that was this was a situation where he needed to be liquid right now. He needs to be flush with cash and try to get out what jam he got in. And he got a lifeline and he get himself the fuck out of there. Does that mean he's gonna keep his ass out of the papers, off of the timelines? I mean, off the front page? Probably not, but you got a better chance this way. And, now the thing is the uncertainty. I wouldn't have a problem with this if that Kushner name wasn't tied to this, because look, you can say, like we mentioned, he is a registered Democrat and whatever else, but he shares business with his brother, and his dad also is on that fugaziness with as far as being an ambassador to either France or Israel. So, and there's been there's stories about him before this even happened that I heard about, right? Yeah. And also, Jared Kushner, he's also tied into funneling, in his business, funneling people towards Trump that's how Trump has gotten into so much crypto money over the last, during this recent administration. So, like, yeah, man, I would be concerned if I was a Lakers fan. And as a person that has most of his closest friends are Lakers fans, as a person that grew up watching probably the Lakers more than any other franchise, it concerns me because this is the crown jewel of the sport. I don't want to see it fucked up.
Yeah, there was a pretty funny joke I saw. It was like Jeannie Buss sold Big Mama's house, and now everyone's spiraling, essentially. And I was like, I don't know where her role, if any, will be. They're going forward now.
Yeah.
And that's a really uncertain thing. I think she's pretty much like the last Buss standing anyway.
She still has. Yeah. So so Windhorse and Ramon Sherman were talking about this as far as the reason why he was probably able to get the extra 2.5 compared to the 10 he put in. Keep in mind, these all valuation money. This is funny money, right? The reason why is because when she sold it to Walter, when Walter already had a minority stake because he had the right of first refusal, she never was able to put it on the open market, so she might have been able to get more than 10. Mm-hmm. But it's I can get 10, and I can be the person in control for the next 5 years. Now with with Iger and Kushner there, that might not be. Should I have to just have that from this point? From this point going forward, have to continue calling him Joshua Kushner. Make sure people don't say. Make sure I'm not saying Jared Kushner, or do I have to keep saying, or can I say the last name?
I think you can just say the last name now. Okay. At this point, we heard it.
Okay. Lakers Kushner. So, because of this other new transition, she might have paperwork to say, yeah, I can still be in control in 5 years, but you know how that is. People have paperwork when they sell that shit off, and people will just rip that shit up and move on.
Yep. I really don't know how to feel about it. Yeah. Everything that I've kind of learned was like kind of doom and gloom and everything like that is surrounding it. So it's like, as you mentioned, the crown jewel sports sold for, I think, more than any team ever or something like that.
No. It sold for more than any team other last time. Now it's doing it again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My bad.
Remember the Celtics sold for six, and then the Lakers sold for 10, and then a year later they sold for 12 and a half.
This is a motion party. You cannot get in, as as they would say. But question from Sad83 is Kushner being a owner worse than private equity? I would say no, just because of like private equity. Man, anything can happen. What you're seeing with private equity,
right? Private equity, like let's say, like that was a concern for me with the Lakers at first when it came to it's private equity, like with Mark Walters part of it, because like there's some Saudi Arabian money involved in that, because like they are not trying to, they don't care about winning and competing or whatever else. They are trying to just make money off of the valuation and flip it. Like they're like private equity is trying to turn your sports team into a flip.
Yeah, and this guy Kushner though has he's gone from B to B, as they say, business to business, and scaling up at all times. And anything that we've pretty much used in our lives over the last 15 years or whatever, that goes from anything from Spotify to Instagram to ChatGPT. Yep. He's had a hand in it. Yep. So it's it looks like he doesn't make bad bets or bad whatever. So there's something behind him knowing what he's doing, but what the fuck they know about basketball at the end of the day. But right. I'm hearing Iger's the lead guy in control or whatever. Yes, he's going to be the front facing one.
Mm-hmm. Iger has been. Here's the thing. Obviously, Iger with running ESPN as well, but Iger has always been a big sports guy. Iger was when
all that Lakers slander ain't going down. On that network, at least.
He's stupid. So
we're gonna have to put some stops in play, this year,
So
Shout out to Big Bob.
Big Bob. That's great. That's great. I mean, have you heard Stephen A. Smith talk about it yesterday?
Yes.
He was like, he's the best boss I ever had, and I was like, boy, that Bob Iger don't play. Big Bob indeed.
Yes. Yep, that's exactly how I was using it. I was like, I like some of the Gaga songs, but what the fuck does she know about cameras? Yeah.
He's retired. He's Iger's been retired. Wasabi King said Iger's retired. Yeah, he's been retired, but he's also been like a special he's also been like a special advisory for them in the years past, and since then he's moved over to the venture with Joshua Kushner. Like even before then, he's always tried to get into a sports team, he never was able to do it. Like he's I'm not even gonna get into it. Like he had season tickets to the Clippers. He was a Clippers season ticket holder.
I heard about that. And he was a Clipper fan.
But here's the thing, though. But really, if you say what's his really favorite team, is actually the Knicks, not really the Clippers. It's just I was in LA.
He was there.
I was stationed in LA. He had season tickets. He was at Game 3 of the finals. Season ticket holder since forever. But
that's whatever. I mean, you don't have to
right.
I saw a lot of people flipping out about that. I would fuck with them about it, but at the end of the day, it's like, all right, what's it about now? Are you trying to win? Like, are you trying to are you going to be a slumdog owner, or are you going to be put money into the team and continue the shit Walter was trying to do? I think that's what Laker fans really care about.
Right. So another thing I was going to get to,
morality be damned.
I mean, think of the class of owners we have now over the last.
It's only going to get worse.
Decade, these people, there's no such thing as a malevolently happy-go-lucky owner. Look, James Dolan just held up the fucking Larry O'Brien trophy. Are you fucking kidding me? He's surveilling people's sexuality with all the cameras and surveillance footage in MSG. Come on, get out of here.
It started with Mark Cuban letting that one lady in. I'm talking about.
How hard did you laugh when I sent you that shit earlier this week about that John Karaoke shit? I was talking to Mark Lamont Hill about her, and I heard it and I was like, I know that ain't who I think it is. I pulled this up. No, that's not her. Let me send this to Rich. Oh my god, that was great. But yeah. So what was I going to say? Yeah, as far as
the name Miriam Adelson.
Adelson. It's pronounced Adelson. But we think it's Adelson because we've seen Rick Adelson and it's spelled the same way. But it's Adelson actually. But yeah. When they traded Luka, we put her on the screen and that shit looked crazy. That shit looked crazy. That is a so I was watching a documentary earlier today about the Monty had a person on about this AI doc, right? Called the AI doc. It's on Peacock, I think, right? So I watched it, and they were talking about super intelligence, and they explained what super intelligence was like. Eventually there's going to be a computer that has more processing and intelligence and computing power than all of humanity put together, called super intelligence. Man, look, Miriam Adelson, you see some of that stuff, you be like, that's a super Zionist. Okay? That is a super Zionist. But yeah, but as far as Iger, Iger was a part of the NFL. He was a failed plan of trying to get NFL teams back to LA. He was trying to get the Raiders and the Chargers to LA. Ultimately, it failed and ended up being, the Rams and the Chargers. But yeah, he's been trying to get a team for a while. So, also because the Clippers, also part of the Clipper connection, whatever else, huge, really, really close connection with Chris Paul. The bubble is basically Chris Paul, Whittenhorse said this. The bubble is basically Chris Paul and Bob Iger taking walks together on speakerphone, and while they're taking walks, they think of stuff, and then they put on speakerphone Adam Silver.
That's crazy. Everybody's talking about, Chris Paul might mess around and have this role in the Lakers organization or something like that. I quite frankly would like David Stern to wake up from the dead and overrule any Chris Paul involvement in LA as to keep it consistent with how it was treated when, the last time it tried to happen. We no Chris Paul, unfortunately, for life. Rich, unfortunately, you can't join us. You weren't allowed to come help Kobe.
Rich,
never.
Rich, if we are already going down this path of talking about Miriam Adelson and David Stern and Adam Silver and Bob Iger, then keep in mind, like I said, he is the boss. He was the boss for ABC Disney, who was giving TV money to the NBA at the time and for the contracts. Who's a Clipper fan? You'd be like, hey. He might have been like, look, the owners don't like this. I don't like it either. Shut it down, David. Look, I don't know if David Stern's actually in the mausoleum. Bob Iger might got him out back for all we know. Okay, I'm joking. I'm joking. These are jokes. I'm not serious. We're not. I don't have. This is a Yankee cap. This is not a tinfoil hat. These are all jokes. These are all jokes. There's no space lasers. You know space lasers I'm talking about. There's no space lasers. Okay, this is a joke. But yeah, man. Shit. Chris Paul could end up finally being a part of the Lakers franchise. And look, he's somebody that we all know is going to end up with a job in some capacity in the NBA post-playing career. We know that. So we'll see. And also,
what would Chris Paul do where people wouldn't hate him? I said, what would Chris Paul be able to do where people wouldn't hate him? Would he want to be a general manager, you think? Or, I mean, people hate GMs, but you ain't got to see GMs every day.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I don't think he's going to be a coach. I think with Bob Iger in play, I think he's going to get an office job. Like a VP of player personnel or something.
I feel like Chris Paul would, obviously, I think he could coach a team or something, right?
Yeah.
But, I feel like he would be great. Obviously, he's grading as a player. It would be like Magic Johnson trying to coach. Something like that. Yeah. So it ain't but I don't know, man.
Magic did coach, remember that?
I did. Yes. I know.
Okay. I just want to show you remember Magic? Look, they let Magic post playing career do anything you want with that Lakers organization, boy.
Bro, you know why it seemed like they let Magic do whatever he wanted after the announcement? It was like, how much time do we have left with Magic?
I knew you was gonna say something like that. You're terrible, bro. He'd be like, bro, how long he gonna have a job? He's only gonna be here for 6 months.
We gonna let him play for the Olympics. We gonna let him play the All-Star game. We gonna let him coach. We gonna give him a late night show. We gonna let him do what he wants. We gonna let him come back.
No, the best part, my favorite part about the All-Star game is Karl Malone was like, I don't feel safe out there or whatever else. Or whatever. Like, all right, well, then let's everybody take blood tests for these. And he shut the fuck up after that.
Yeah.
Karl Malone on the wrong side of everything always in basketball. Always. This one just before we found out he was a pedophile.
Yeah. So, as far as these guys being the new owners, I don't know. I watch the players play. Yeah. The owners, unless you're somebody like Jerry Buss, who is I think I saw another joke. We used to have billionaires who just want to be rich playboys, win and fuck women, and now we've got these we
got these private equity motherfuckers. Yes. We have people. We used to have people that were just very rich. Now we have literally the oligarchs of our societies owning these teams and playing games.
Right, it's something that's gonna if you project this out over years and years, it's the more of these owners come in, it's the salary cap goes up and up. There's gonna be a point where this sport breaks. As far as
Rich,
all the money that's in there, and for what teams are being sold for, and it's gonna lead to another real lockout, and then it's gonna be it's going to be even uglier with the public because no one is going to be all right, because say teams are getting sold for $12 billion now, right? Yep. Say, what are teams going to be selling for in 25 years, right? It's going to be $20 billion or some shit like that, and then like those TV deals come back around again, and then these salaries are gonna go insane, and then people are like, "You're paying this player what?" Like it's gonna be like ridiculous. Like,
Rich, that's been happening.
I think it's what maybe Draymond Green was talking about. It was like these teams is selling for $12 billion. It was like, but like we fucking capped. Like it was like, why don't you just get rid of the salary cap or something like that? And I was like,
but that's not how that works. Like it's capped at the top, but it's also a floor. Like it's not like baseball where there's like the floor is so low. It's like that's how you end up with all these. You ever think at the end of like basically at the end of or towards like the middle of, well basically like around now, right? You'll see like someone sign some contracts on some sorry team. You're like, why did they pay this person on this sorry team?
They had to.
Yeah, because there's a floor. Like guys have to get a whole bunch of money, like even if they ain't worth it. So I mean, I don't think. Draymond, I don't know if Draymond's a part of ever been a part of the players union or whatever else, but like that's the part that players don't or misunderstand as far as like, yeah, the money is the middle class of the league is getting overpaid severely at the expense of the star players, and because of that, it's like, all right, so that's why like the middle class players don't get to be long-term veterans anymore. They shrink down to vet minimum real quick because they're trying to turn out players because it's cheaper. They're trying to get cheaper contracts to fit around their quality players. That's why drafting is so important now.
Yep. But not really too much more. I guess I'll like keep looking into it and everything like that. It's just, do y'all want to win?
Pablo Torre, get on your job. Oh, speaking of that, I guess is it time to talk about Pablo?
Sure. Let's talk about Pablo.
Yeah, man. So Pablo's been on the Clipper stuff. We talked about it before in passing. The last thing we talked about was how they basically had to renege on the Clippers trade of Kawhi back to Toronto, because like the word was that they're still in an investigation, and they told the Raptors, "Hey, you can go through with this trade, but if you go through with this trade, like whatever punishment that Kawhi gets, you are the person that takes it, not the Clippers." And they were like, oh, "Nah, bro, no."
They're walking out like Swerve last night, like
yeah, man. So, someone said, "James, don't cape for the salary cap." The salary cap sucks. My point is that the players' money still get the money because it's still put in escrow, and if they get more than what they make off of what they estimate they get that money if they don't, it comes back. Like, it's not too much different from the NFL salary cap. I think both suck. My point is, it's not like they're not paying the players whatever they bargained for, whatever else. Because my thing is, look, they have lost every single time, the players, and the players agreed to this shit. They should have never let this salary or these apron shits happen. But people like Jaylen Brown, people like who else was it? Your boy CJ McCollum. Yeah, they all went up there and went up for that shit. So it is what it is. And their expectations, well, the average player can get paid like $15 million when it used to be 10. So we're good with it. That was their trade off as a union. That was their mistake. But anyway, because it's always fuck the owners. It's always fuck the owners over here. But anyway, Kawhi. So when the Raptors said, no, we don't want to be stuck with that in case something bad happens, word was put out that like the investigation is around Kawhi from the NBA. The NBA's independent investigation is now concerned with more than just aspiration. So about 2 weeks ago, something like that, Pablo put out another podcast entitled, pointed out with this, or a piece of this, an add-on to this was like, okay, so Kawhi signed, or was getting money from a Rhode Island minor league soccer team.
Yeah, that's insane.
And and they didn't advertise him. It's another no-show, no-work job. But meanwhile, like Daniel Tice, who played for the Celtics or whatever else, played for the Clippers, also signed on. And they put pictures of him up. So like, that's weird. But it's like, okay, well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, come back around. Pablo over on Friday dropped one that was like, okay, so there's this company that basically makes all the jumbotrons for basically half of all major sporting events in the country, called Daktronics, and is based in South Dakota. And they are a business-to-business company because they're selling big-ass screens to the only place that could buy big-ass screens. Buy them. Right. They make shot clocks in Jumbotrons. So there's no point of advertising this on anywhere. They've never had anybody advertise them ever. And he got a tip from someone inside the Clippers organization saying that Kawhi 1000% has a deal with Daktronics. So he sends someone to look over, because Daktronics is a public company. So he sends somebody to go over all of their SEC announcements and all that kind of stuff. Goes through all the audio, through all the paperwork, and when the guy goes to sign on or goes to try to contact them, he asks, I'm looking for blah, 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 blah. And they were like, what unsolicited was like, they get sent to a the email sends the dude to contact their crisis management team or firm. Right? And he was like, that's strange. I don't even know why I'm calling them. I didn't mention Kawhi. I didn't mention none of this. They sent me to this person. So he reaches out to them, and the crisis management people they can't tell a lie. They can't lie to you. They can only just hide the truth, because if it's a lie, then it makes the scandal bigger, right? So the dude gets on the phone and says, we have no contract with Kawhi Leonard as of now. So that means, okay, so wording is everything. That means at some point, that means there was a contract, or you plan to do business in the future, but you've never had anybody advertise, because what's the point of having advertising him? Now, well, I guess people don't, the part that I'm leaving out is Daktronics built a $100 million Jumbotron called the Halo that's state-of-the-art for the new Clippers stadium that open this year. But when they did it, they were on death's door as a public company. They were only making $500,000 in a fiscal year. And then since then, their stock has gone from $6 a share to $20 a share.
Kawhi Leonard has to get the death penalty.
So basically,
like the NBA version of whatever the death penalty is. Yeah, nigga, void your contract, 1 year suspension, 2 year suspension. Y'all can fuck up the league like this. And look, and whoever's doing it, kick the door in on everybody.
So one thing I forgot to mention, or two things I forgot to mention. So remember that Rhode Island FC soccer team that he's a part of?
Yeah.
This is just funny. It don't really mean, it could be a coincidence, or it could be something. Guess who on their brand new stadium they built that took away, that was subsidized with was supposed to be money that was supposed to be towards what do you call it? Affordable housing. You know what you know who made the Jumbotron? Daktronics. Also, another part,
all this shit is a pyramid scheme.
The crisis management firm for Daktronics. Do you know who the dude he was on the phone with? You know who he used to work for?
No, gotta be Bomber.
Sterling's ex-wife.
Oh my God.
Is it Shelly?
What was her name?
Sterling?
Shelly Sterling. Yeah, Shelly Sterling.
Shelly Sterling. Yep, her. Also, on the paperwork, right?
Anything involved with the Clippers stinks. This is why Jerry West was like, you cannot go play for that man. This is why.
Yeah, I mean, there's more to it I'm leaving out, but those are the biggest broad strokes. There's also the part where when they were building the stadium, it's all this stuff connected, and it's because the difference in this one compared to the Aspiration ones was your boy your boy Bomber was always like, well, Aspiration was a scam, that guy's in prison, I got defrauded, so they defrauded everybody, whatever else. But the point is okay, so when Kawhi's Aspiration money goes away because that dude's going to prison, Aspiration, the jig is up with that. All of a sudden, now he's getting, when he re-signs his deal, right after that goes away, he gets his Daktronics deal in the Rhode Island
Just
FC
another
deal.
one.
And also it's like Daktronics publicly traded company. They ain't scammed nobody. They still legit business. So the whole the whole cover you had, possible liability you had with Aspiration, you cannot have with Daktronics.
Yeah, get the Clippers a death penalty too. We need 5 first-round draft picks from you.
They ain't got 5 rounds. They don't got 5.
Yeah, that's right. They traded them all. Yeah, that's right.
Because the Thunder got them.
That's right. That's true. They traded them all.
The Spurs got them. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like, we're lowering your cap number. For artificially, we will make you spend. Like, we will take back 30% of your cap every year.
Brother, do you hear Stephen A. Smith talk about this one?
No.
Now, keep in mind, for those that because this is my second mission to see this. I do not watch First Take. These are clips that I've been sent. Now, keep in mind, when this first happened with the Aspiration part of it that came out about 11 months ago, they let Bomber come on to the ESPN campus and say, I got scanned. They conned me, right? So now, and the next day, Stephen A. Smith was like, I know Steve Ballmer, he's a great guy. I hope this ain't true. A couple days ago, he was like, if this shit is true, he's like, Kawhi and Bomber both need to be banned from the league for a year. I was like, God damn, that's a 180. That is a 180. Yeah, man. So it's looking
bad.
rough for the Celtics. Or not Celtics, the Clippers. It's looking real rough. Real rough.
Look rough for the Celtics too, but yeah. Did get a super chat earlier. Wanted to mention from my man Ethan. He said, hold on, I'm finding it right now. Sorry if it's not appropriate to even speak on, but any thoughts on the EDP documentary if you've seen it? Love and appreciate y'all. I did not watch the EDP 445 documentary. However, I did see that his favorite wrestler is Triple H. And if he did nothing, the nigga sat down with Chris Hansen in the shit. He was if he gave us nothing else, he gave us the transition to the EDP 445 Triple H, and that meme is going quadruple platinum.
Okay, so I only knew of EDP. I didn't even know his name was until, I guess, yesterday, 2 days ago, whenever I asked Rich and JML about it, as far as, like, who is this? And he was like, it's the Eagles fan that was fat and, like, with loud mouth and cry. I was like, that guy. It's like, well, yeah, he kind of felt what happened to him. He's like, he caught a pedophile case. It's like, okay. Yeah. Look, plastic bag for this nigga. Plastic bag for this nigga. Anyway, yeah, man, like, I don't know. Oh, it's an insane rollout. I don't know why we get these
like
people
he's
time
back.
of day.
I don't, no idea. I never planned to watch the whole thing ever.
And what
took the check?
I don't know, man. Like I got nothing on it outside of, like, he said he had some funny little clips, whatever else. They ain't funny no more. To me anyway. But yeah, I don't know, man. But Triple H thing was crazy. It's like, my favorite wrestler is this evil motherfucker because fuck you, hit you in the head with a helmet, take your belt, fuck you. I was like, well, that is what Triple H did.
Yeah. But yeah, man, let's get.
No, what was the other thing I saw also with EDP where he was basically talking about the realest he's on the right winger grift now. Like, he was talking about
he's like the realest niggas list or something like that.
Yeah. I was like, man, this is some mess.
I mean, yeah. So I guess we should get to the retirement of Russell Westbrook from the NBA, not the NWA. Russell Westbrook has retired from the NBA after 18 seasons. Retired, put a video out. It was like 3 minutes long, kind of like a highlight tape, and had like this message essentially at the end of it. It was like a museum. He was like, but what you put in here, like, it doesn't even need to be said. Thought it was like kind of unique and different. And man, I was kind of tore up from this one. I was seeing it. I was like, damn, man. Like I saw a lot of outpouring of love for Russell Westbrook that was almost like
deservedly so.
Man, where this been at? Like, and it made me think. I was like, damn, like after probably Curry right now, I was like, Russ is probably the guy I was rooting for the most, like in the league right now. And guys my age, sense of mortality there, and it was like he's just always been in the league, and then had just he's the Allen Iverson of our generation, I feel like, and as far as like everything on the court. And he's a guy that I think he was basically the antithesis. As much as I love Steph Curry, like the antithesis of Steph Curry was Russell Westbrook. Like it wasn't the 3-pointers. It wasn't like the perfect basketball, so to say. And I think through Russ's imperfections came like my love for him. Like it was like, yeah, man, he can't shoot, but he's athletic as hell. Like this guy was a 3-star high school recruit and then goes to UCLA and then ends up top 4 in the draft after his sophomore year.
Yeah,
he's converted, from a point guard or shooting guard to a point guard, and he's playing combo guard his whole career. It was like a death sentence in the 2000s, essentially. Like a combo guard, like what is that? Like, and we saw a lot of people's careers not go the way they were supposed to. And then this guy thrives, and he's like the most athletic point guard to ever live. Him and Derrick Rose like were two sides of a coin, essentially. Both ended up winning MVPs, and I really felt like with Russ, it was a thing where I just thought people were on his head all the time about his decision making, and he stopped talking to people, and then I always would hear about how he would treat his teammates, and he was such a good guy and everything like that. And he just became a guy that I rooted for because I felt like he was an ultimate competitor. Played like you could see his heart beating through his uniform, and like when you have Michael Jordan saying that you remind me of me, like that's it, man. Like, and it's like, I always saw him like as a guy that Kobe co-signed and was like, and I remember, what it felt like when the Lakers went up against them guys twice in the early 2010s. Like they caught him in the 2010 playoffs. 10 and 12 actually. And it was like Kobe's last playoff game was against, the Thunder, essentially. And it was like they packed, my goat up, essentially, and it was like, damn, these young niggas is raw, like it, and he was right there. And him and Durant, like I feel like there is no Oklahoma City Thunder without Russell Westbrook, and he has a home, and I think he's like the triple double stuff, incredible. Y'all know the stats. He's a guy like only him and LeBron, only 25,000, 10,000 assist guys. The making triple doubles, getting so many triple doubles that people like he literally broke a metric that like they were like, yeah, this metric actually means Russell Westbrook is the greatest player to ever live, which he's not. But anytime you do that, that's interesting, I think. But yeah, he dealt with a lot of teams that weren't built for his skill set. I always wondered what would happen if we could put him on the floor with some people that could shoot, in his prime. Like, after the breakup with KD, and then he didn't get that opportunity. He just had to go crazy. An all-time competitor and someone that would not lay it down. Like, even under the worst circumstances, like just competing his heart out, even when he was old. Like, and I maintain that he didn't win, but he's a winning player.
I think he was a winning player most of his career. Winning is, can you win a championship with him as your best player? I don't think so, but that's not that many people. If he had been in a situation where, look, man, main thing's the main thing. If Clay Bennett doesn't trip out over $4 or $5 or $8 million fucking dollars, we ain't got to worry. We never would have had to answer that question. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of the tragedy of, like, for me, like, all three of those guys. Durant won his two titles, whatever else. But I mean, like, it's, Look at how he
really
acts
gives him
online.
credit
You know it's
for.
not the same thing as what is. He knows it's not the same thing.
Yep. No one really gives him credit for it, and he don't like even. It don't seem like it makes him fulfilled
because he went out there. He went out there and played with a superior team against LeBron James and played him to a draw, like not too different from 2012. And they won 73 games, and it was like people don't give a shit. It's like, bro, we ain't gonna give you the ace over this. Yeah, you get 2 MVPs, whatever you remember in history, but like ain't nobody gonna give you no credit and think you the best player in the world because you beat a team under these conditions. But yeah, like when it comes back to Westbrook, like I've never thought he was a losing player outside of when he got past a certain age. I always thought like there's levels to winning. Like he's a guy that absolutely could be the best player on the playoff team. Did it? Can you get to a Final Four with him? I don't know. Could you get to the finals with him? I don't know. Can you win the finals with him? I never thought so. But ultimately, the one of the things I don't like about how we judge NBA players is now compared to when I was a kid is you could see, or hell, let's go back to this just June. You see Patrick Ewing with Jalen Brunson, and they got Patrick Ewing holding the trophy because winning, whether or not you won the title, ain't necessarily the whole thing. Is you represented an era for a city, a franchise, a region, a state, and they enjoyed watching you for a decade or whatever else, and you went down with the ship. All that kind of stuff, and that is a part that has materially changed in the NBA based off of all sorts of different things. The main thing right now would have been based off of the decision from LeBron or whatever else, but there's always been people trying to ring chaser, move around, all that kind of thing. But the main thing was LeBron said, I'm going to take my destiny to my own hands instead of relying on somebody. It ultimately proved to not know what the fuck they were doing over years and years and years and years. But once you have Durant do what he did, where it's like, I'm going to put my destiny into my own hands, and it is to join the best team in the league. It sours people on that feeling. So that's the reason why, like the other day, or a couple weeks ago, I was freaking out about how they're doing how they're treating the in the Steph's run. It's like it's almost like they resent the part where he's still so fucking good that they can't just go out and tank and be terrible so they can start over fresh. And it's like, fuck that. Like, that dude matters more to the NBA than your sinking fucking franchise. I'm sorry. Like, Steph Curry matters more to NBA basketball than the Golden State Warriors history combined. Sorry, Rick Barry. Sorry, Tim Hardaway. Sorry, Chris Mullin. Sorry, Baron Davis, Captain Jack, Mike Barnes, all that. I'm sorry. So, but anyway, pointing it back to Westbrook is like, this guy is going to be, for a certain generation of people in Oklahoma, like, their franchise is GOAT. Shea may have already taken it. It don't matter. That's a similar situation with Kobe or Magic. Kobe or Magic can be a similar situation where like you have your generation of fandom tied around this guy because he stayed until there was no reasonable path for him to continue doing this. And there's more grace in the way. There's a lot more grace in the way that Westbrook left OKC when it was time for him to start over and it was amicable than what Durant did, what LeBron has done, what Jimmy Butler has done, for example. You're always going to get more grace from that fan base. Or KG, perfect example. I stayed there as long as I could. I rode it to the wheels fall off. The wheels are off. I'm going to get out of here. And when they won the title in 2008, Minnesota fans were just as happy that he won outside of in their own colors, just in a different shade of green. And unfortunately, it didn't happen for Westbrook to where he could ever won a title. But those Oklahoma City fans, while they were doing their tank to get the check or whatever else, they still had a couple years where they were hoping and wishing that Russ could get one.
Yeah, and I was always rooting for Russ, and I think a lot of the second part of his career, after the Wizards, when he came to the Lakers, I always wanted Russell Westbrook to be a Laker. And I would
say before that, I would say, remember, okay, so the year when he came in was it a hamstring or leg injury with the Rockets, and then he had COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that 2020 season when it was different. Because remember, it started to come to a point where like 2020 and on, like he had these super slow starts to these season where he looks like he's cooked, and then all of a sudden, eventually he catches form. That happened in Washington too, where it's like, yo, what? It's November. It's like, yo, he looks bad, and then all of a sudden, by the time you get to February, it's like, okay, he's like Russell Westbrook again.
Yeah, like, and it didn't go well. Like, it wasn't like good for him. It wasn't good for like
it was a bad fit for him and the team.
Yeah, and it just like there were times where he looked like the worst basketball player to ever live. Like, and I don't know if all that was a mental thing. It was a fit thing. It was like being asked to do something that you're not used to. Definitely, for sure. Like, hey man, we're gonna see if you can hit this corner three at a decent clip. That's not his game, and it was a not good situation, and I hated that for him.
And another thing that agonized about it is like we always knew he had the kind of game that wasn't going to adapt.
Yeah, and I think that's who makes Russ. That makes him him. Like
no. I don't mean it as a knock against him.
Yeah, like it was going to be he was going down with his skills. Like
if you're an athletic guard that's under 6'4" that can't shoot, this is the Iverson, John Wall, Derrick. It's not about Russell Westbrook as a person. It's just a smallish guard losing their first step. And they can't shoot. The offset, the part where they lose their step, it always ends like it always has. And the part where he made it 18 years is like the other guys I just mentioned. They didn't make it 18 years.
They would have made it to like 13 or 12 or something like that.
Right. Like John Wall was the first pick of the 2010 draft.
He's been done. I think he was done in like 23.
Yeah.
Maybe even before that.
Probably before that.
Yeah, and like for me, like there was just such an outpouring of love for him yesterday that was like, oh, everybody does realize how special this guy was. Like, and they were showing some of the lineups he was going to war with during his MVP season. It would be like 4 people on the court with him that couldn't shoot. Like, and it was like
it was like Steven Adams, was
Roberson. It was like Roberson, Oladipo, and young Sabonis.
I thought Oladipo was on the same team together. I thought they got.
I believe
traded,
so.
Okay.
Or
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and it was like
someone said John Morant could be next. What do you mean could be? It's already happened.
Yeah.
John Morant ain't been good since 2023. It's already happened to him.
Yeah, I think he was, everybody talks about how much of a competitor he was. He was like right up there with any great competitor you've ever seen in the league. And like, man, I'm just glad he never had to put the pause on nobody because it looked like it wouldn't have worked out well for them. I'll never forget the 2020 game, like, and, different nip. And, huge philanthropist. That's another big thing. And like ultimately a guy that it was like I feel like Russell Westbrook would have thrived in any era of the NBA. And I'm talking you could have put him.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, you could put him in the 80s, you could put him in the 90s, like, and it's like
if you put that freak show in the fucking 80s, good lord.
Like he was a guy like, like I didn't even care about him not quote unquote developing a jumper or anything. Like it wasn't really about that with Westbrook. It was like this this freak athlete that was just like
he had a jumper. The thing is people okay. So you know how people they always do the thing if they look at like numbers and they don't look at the context of the numbers, right? So like people like Westbrook and Rondo, they will have like above average like mid range like shooting numbers, but it's like they're not taking into account of like people will go under screens on them from 12 feet. Like they're leaving them wide open from 12. So of course they're it's not like they're guarding like they're Kobe or Dirk, right? You get my point. Mm-hmm. Like so Westbrook could shoot because he was always open because the alternative is you're getting him a launch pad to the damn rim.
Yeah.
So he had a good enough shot from mid range, but the league changed with the 3-point. Like if he had came to the league 10 years earlier, he would have been an even more impactful player. It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered as much. But like someone like him, it just hurt. And like someone like the difference between him and someone like Dwayne Wade is Dwayne Wade was just physically bigger than him.
Yeah,
physically bigger and a better defender. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just it just worked out better for Wade and didn't work out for Westbrook in that way, and it's unfortunate.
And if you didn't like see Westbrook in his younger days, like just the open court like assassin that he was, like it looked crazy.
Are there five? Came in the league. Are there 5 athletes better than him in history of the sport?
Wilt.
No. Not pound for pound. I mean like.
Oh, if they was all the same size?
No. Take away the pound for pound thing, because pound for pound is gonna be LeBron because he's 260 and he moves almost as fast. So it's gonna be like someone that moves that fast, jumps that high, and almost seemingly will jump off the fucking off the surgery table and just go back to being a sprint.
The power of like his power in his power in speed and velocity, and like he would run fast as hell, jump high as fuck, and could absorb the punishment.
Right.
Like he was kind of special in that regard, because you saw what happened to Derrick Rose.
Right.
Like, and it was like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna miss the guy, and I'm glad he got to go out on his own terms. And the Wizards wanted him back, the Kings wanted him back, but it was kind of the elephant in the room that was hanging around every summer. It's like, all right, what team is eventually going to try to bring Russ in? And then, I don't know how it was going. I don't know how that report emerged or anything.
Isn't that a fake report? I don't even want to talk about it because we've already talked enough about this now about.
Oh, that thing was that was
fake.
I'm not even talking about that.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about like as far as like the Wizards and the Kings wanted him. I don't know who put that out, or Russ put it out himself or whatever, to make sure niggas knew or whatever. But it was just like, I saw what happened with Chris Paul. We talked about him earlier, and then it was just like Melo and some of these guys, and
like these obvious first ballot Hall of Famers that all retired unceremoniously, seemingly. Or not seemingly, definitely did. Like Chris Paul got sent home. Westbrook he has to put out a video. Obviously they'll do something for him in OKC. I don't know when Jersey night is. I'm sure that'll happen this year. They retired Nick Collins' fucking number. But like he's somebody that's like
fuck around and give Russ a statue out there, bro.
Could be. Why not? But really, what I'm getting is like he was an easy NBA 75 guy. Easy. It wasn't even a thought, right? Yeah. And I remember. I don't know if you remember this, Rich, but like around the time the Westbrook or the Steph Curry stuff was going crazy, and like after the first title or the second title or basically 2016, I was 15 and 16. I was like, yeah, man, like I'm listening to Bill Simmons talk about where Westbrook or where the kind of like rare areas during the back-to-back MVP stuff that like Curry is doing, and deservedly so. But it's like I still don't feel comfortable saying he's necessarily better than Russell Westbrook. I saw him be better than him all but like these last 3 years or these last 2 years, and then you watch the that conference finals in 2016, and like there are plays where he just physically just overwhelming and kicking Steph Curry's ass while they're up 3-1, and it's like I don't know what to do with Steph Curry because Westbrook is physically better than him. Like just as a physical specimen, I think that's part of the appeal for Steph Curry was like, you can never be Kevin Durant. You could be a 6'11" sniper. You can never be LeBron James, this fucking behemoth with all these guard skills. And then you also gonna be Westbrook, the fastest, quickest guy ever in the sport. But you might be able to trick yourself and think you can learn how to shoot like Steph Curry because it's like a golf thing. Like, someone got to be Tiger Woods, right? And it's like, nah, man, you can't ever be you might have a chance of honing your skills and be a good enough sharpshooter you can replicate some type of success in basketball. Maybe not at Steph Curry level be successful, but like playing on you gonna get to the NBA based off being the biggest freak in the sport maybe ever. Nah, not realistic. So like that's the kind of like rarefied talent in physical force of nature Westbrook was, and like that's what I'm going to remember, even though I thought he was a flawed player. But everybody's a flawed player. Is how big are the flaws? And like when it came to the hair splitting of like the top of the league guys, when people are not knocking people or whatever else, compare contemporaries, it got nasty for Westbrook when it came to your preference of you like Chris Paul or you like Westbrook, whatever else. And then Curry got to a point where it's like, all right, we can't even do this. Curry's a level above both of them. So it's gonna be interesting how history holds like both of those guys now that they're both out of the league and they're both gonna be in the same Hall of Fame class.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
that's gonna be funny. Like I'd actually like consider trying to go to Springfield to see Russell Westbrook get in like and do his speech. Like I never got to see Kobe's speech, you know, so
I've never.
It would be
speech.
like
I can't do it.
You know, like Kobe didn't get to give his speech, so it was like.
Well, that whole entire like
his wife,
like
yeah,
KG Duncan.
Never
that whole
watch
entire,
it.
I haven't watched a single bit of it.
Never watch it.
Yeah, I
never
can't.
watch Vanessa's speech ever. Like,
yeah, I can't.
But nah, Westbrook is just like. It's just a feeling that you get when you watch him, I think. And then he had the whole thing like where it was like the now I do what I want, the stuff with like Lou Vert. Like it was like he represented like a point, and then you talk about the fashion, the style stuff he was doing earlier in his career. It was wild and out there. He was a new dude.
He was wearing bullshit.
He was an old nigga and a new dude in one. He was an old school nigga that propels himself like a new dude or whatever, right? And it was like. I don't get it, but like
I never got it.
That's his thing. Yeah. Like, and it always like he always had, you know, a unique style to him, and he's probably still gonna do, you know, that stuff even to this day or whatever. And I think that was a huge part of his appeal too. It was like I'm not trying to appeal to you. I'm trying to look like me, like, and I'm trying to play like me. I wear number 0. Like,
do we know that was an Arenas nod?
I don't know. I don't know the story behind it.
You know, they both Cali dudes or whatever else. I don't know. You never know.
Yeah. Then he, he ended up wearing number 18 for the Kings, and then, in a way, he kind of told us it was coming with that, and it was like, okay, Westbrook 18. There's kind of a charm to that he ends up retiring after that, and it's just
I didn't realize 18 seasons. So basically, you're getting to the point where you think you already knew.
Yeah, okay. But like. You know, and you know, you look at his stats, and it's like, yeah, he could have kept going or whatever, you know. But he's 37 years old, yeah. And you know, it's a miracle. Like, you know, like you think about these guys, these 2010s guys with this unreal longevity. James Harden, you know, Curry, Durant, LeBron, and it's like it makes like. Russell Westbrook, this is how it used to be. It was like, oh, he's 37. Yeah, it's time to go at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's almost like, I think some of the shock was like, people were like, he's not going to keep going. Like, he's not going to play till he's 40 and keep, like, you know, doing whatever. And then it was just like, you know, he got put on the minimum contracts eventually, and he could never really come back from that after that. And it was like, teams weren't going to, you know, continue investing in him any longer. And I think he realized that.
Yeah, someone said he should have never left Denver. Well, the Denver thing, he had a player's option, and they told him, if you take the player's option, we are not going to play you.
Yeah.
They didn't want him back. Like, it was... Okay, so a lot of the stuff with the Clipper stuff, or the Lakers stuff, was you know, people were upset with LeBron, and rightfully so, for... like feeling like people that are LeBron nut huggers are like slandering Russell Westbrook while Westbrook plays bad, and that definitely happened. But what people wanted was like a proof of Westbrook could show that like he still got it, and like when he got these opportunities other places, it was like, nah, man, this ain't just about LeBron as much as y'all trying to make it about LeBron. It's like, nah, this dude is not at the stage in his career anymore where he can be in a winning on a contendership winning context anymore. He can be in the league on somebody's team, and he can teach the vets, he can be somebody's vet and teach you. He absolutely can teach you how to teach people to come in, hit their weights, be a good person in the community, and do the job and learn how to stick in the league. But as far as on the court, he's more, at that point, he's time for a culture guy, not a person that's going to help you get over the top. So, you know, it didn't work out with the Clippers, and it didn't work with the Nuggets, and then he ended up in Sacramento. And, you know, I didn't watch him at all past the Nuggets thing, but it's like, I figured he was going to stick around a couple more years, but he wants to wrap it up. that's, you know, he has his own. At least he has some times knowing like I could have came back if I wanted to, but I'd rather go on my own terms. And that's been like we talked about. Westbrook has always wanted it his way to a certain extent in his career, and at least he has a choice. Because I was listening to someone talk about this when it came to talking about football about, you know, if football is different from basketball or baseball or soccer, where it's like you can go play pickup. Like you can always choose whenever it's your last day to play any of most sports. Like you can pick up a beer league and go play slow pitch, baseball, softball, whatever. You can go get a pickup room at LA Fitness, some shit like that. Football, when you done, you done. And then I thought about it, I was like, yeah, that's true. Happened to me. Yeah. I never really thought about it that way. But yeah, like it really few people get to choose when to walk away. Luckily with him, he can walk away from this league saying, I chose not to do this again.
Yeah. And, you know, all-time legend. Like, and we'll be remembered as such, and like
all-time leader in triple doubles.
All-time leader in triple doubles.
It might last only a year or two left, but still, whatever. we never thought it was gonna be someone gonna pass Oscar Robertson and whatever and all that shit. So it happened. So he did it.
And I think like he's gonna be one of the most polarizing guys ever. And he's going to be an incredible historical debate, because it's like, what do you value? It's like, statistically, you look at him like Rashad McCants was saying, statistically, this guy's the greatest point guard of all time. Like, just when you look at the stats, and it's like, all right, yeah, he might be a teaching case. And man, it's going to be fascinating, just like to, whatever, continues to get written about him and everything like that, because like in a way, like there's gonna be like that nigga that's on that book behind me, like the way like that he's talked about after he was playing, I could see the same thing waiting for Russell Westbrook. So
I mean, I don't know where he even, I never thought about this, like
because it's like, all right, like Russell Westbrook or Jason Kidd. It's like you start just naming them, right? And then it's like, well, which one would I rather have? Like, and then it's like, I'm sorry, Jason Kidd he scored 13 points a game. Like, and then it's like, well, the things that Kidd offered, he's a winner, he's a defender, and then there's other stuff like that.
I'll put it to you like this, right? So me and you talked about this a couple years ago, or back in the more or less in the prime, like in basically like the late 2010s, right? Is like, if I'm going to start a franchise, I want Russell Westbrook. But if I need to win a title, I'd rather have Kyrie, because Kyrie is a luxury. Like, he's got to put you over the top. Like, if you take, but like, as far as the responsibility of carrying the franchise, give me Russell Westbrook. It's just, it all depends on all these all this stuff is situational. And when you're in the context for so long and it don't work out, you get dinged for that. As opposed to, there never was a perfect place for Russell Westbrook. Maybe there never was one, but like the one he had got blown up so goddamn quick, and he was like 22 years old. He never had a chance. It's honestly a tragedy.
Crazy. That's crazy. Like, after 22 years old,
and then all the bad luck they had with injuries with him and Ibaka and Westbrook.
Fucking Patrick Beverly just runs into his fucking knee one time, and he's got to get meniscus surgery, and yeah.
And then the next year, 2014, Ibaka tears a piece of his calf that like is his own individual thing. And and then Durant gets fucks up his foot with the navicular bone, I believe. And 15 and 16 is like, they're on the clock. It's Durant's final year, and they had 3 years post Harden, and all three of them got the shit through one other big three being injured post Harden, and they only had 1 year, and they blew a 3-1 lead to a team that won 73 games, and it's done forever. It's incredibly unlucky. I remember I was in Baltimore in 2014 when the Ibaka shit happened. I said to you, Rich, I don't think they're ever going to win. And me and you were sitting there kind of like, holy shit, they might not ever win.
Bro, and then
it worked out like that.
Like, yeah, and it's just like, it's like, fuck, man. Like Clay Bennett robbed the NBA. He robbed basketball fans.
Yep.
Like, he saved that $4 million, right? That's a ski mask of $4 million that he took from the history of basketball.
And then immediately after he let him walk over that luxury tax, because they were a small market, we can't pay the luxury tax, whatever else. They immediately spent the last like 2 or 3 years of the Durant era going over the luxury tax.
unreal. As always, fuck the owners.
Exactly.
But yeah, watch a Russell Westbrook highlight reel. Like that's all you got. That's all I got to say. Like so, moving from Russell Westbrook to two viral debates that went on over this past week. Can you guys tell it was a light week in wrestling if we're going to talk about these things? So Conrad Thompson basically came out there and basically threw some red meat, for his podcast, and he kicked
too.
He kicked, and Bischoff agreed, which was the crazy thing, and I was like, that's strange, but he basically said Roman Reigns is like the most overrated main eventer, and he basically called out a lot of the things about Reigns that I don't think people like to acknowledge, for lack there of a better word. As far as like the industry plant nature of him, the repeated failures, on top of the promotion for years and years and years. I think where he kind of stepped in it, and where I can't really rock with him, is basically saying like it's all Paul Heyman's doing and everything like that, because it was like, he's the manager of the act, man. Like, eventually Roman had to get in the ring and do it himself. And, he probably helped him in the booking room and stuff like that, But he was always at the top of the company. It wasn't like anything was really, changed. Heyman is the one that benefited from that, not Roman necessarily. Right. But so, like, when he says he's the most overrated top guy in history, I'm like, look, he's up there, but it's not him, ultimately. Like, I don't have a problem with a lot of his arguments or anything, because I feel like all that shit is true. You can look at a lot of these.
It's too hyperbolic. It's the argument he made. Like, they pushed that dude before he was ready, and by the time he was ready, the crowd wasn't having it with him, and he wasn't enough of a ticket draw for them to at that point transition to Cena, off of Cena as fast as they did, and they could have got more years on top with Cena, but they decided to go this route. And then he wasn't ready either, and they just kept going, and the crowd kept rejecting him, and he had to go away and turn and become a heel, just like his cousin did. Like, everyone wanted him to for 5 years or whatever else plus before he finally did it, and then he became the star everyone said he could have been if they had just turned the fucking guy when he still had John Cena. It was a whole bunch of miscalculations, incompetent handling of the guy. So
stubbornness.
Yeah. You're like, oh, it's a Cena thing. It's not the fucking Cena thing. The dude's not selling tickets like Cena. He's not people aren't tuning in for him like Cena. Stop it. But as far as saying the most overrated, is like, look, bro.
I mean, Triple H.
You've lost me with
here.
Exactly. Triple H, Ultimate Warrior, Diesel. You know how many bad people, Yokozuna, you know how many bad main eventers they've had in this company? Give me a fucking break.
I think the only thing would be like no one is close to push as hard as Roman Reigns. Like,
true.
So it's like, I feel like there's actually a legit argument still.
He's overrated, but he
did not produce. He did not produce to the level of push that he was given.
Agreed. But neither did Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And Randy Orton's worse.
Too. Yeah, that guy too.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are we doing?
Matches. So yeah. And he had a lot of people jumping on him like that. And I think the thing is, he activated the post 2020 fan base, essentially the people that didn't go through them wars, essentially, and really don't understand.
Went around for Baron Corbin pouring dog food on this man. Went around for about
they don't understand the context.
Went around for when that man was leaving to go fight blood cancer, and have Dean Ambrose talk about this is Roman Reigns' karma and bullshit while he was gone, right? And then Roman Reigns shows up and he tells Seth Rollins he needs to forgive Dean Ambrose because this is the end. Like, come on, man. Like, WWE did so much bullshit with Roman Reigns. It's like, look, man, this is why I can't, overrated, yes, but I'm not, you will never get me to be like, yeah, he's worse than Randy Orton and some people already mentioned. Hell no.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk about his failures, but he does have some successes too, and
that the other guys
ultimately,
don't.
Yeah, ultimately, he ended up benefiting when they scaled him back and they made him like Brock, which is hilarious. And
shout out,
I think it kind of
shout out to Cody. Meanwhile, what did CM Punk do? He took his ass home for like 3 months.
Yeah. I think the deal with Roman is he always had the ability to eventually make it to the top. And I think it just comes down to some of that resentment of like they put everything around him, and it was a weird dynamic for him on top as a babyface and a weird dynamic for him as a heel. It was like when he was on top as a babyface, like the big dog and stuff, he was getting booed, and then when he was on top as a heel, he was getting cheered. It was just weird with him.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
And I see the arguments. I see them, but
we agree with them until you step into the part where you're like, all right, bro, too far, too fucking.
It's like
far.
the most ever. It's like, bro, like, and with Conrad, it's like, all right, man, you are
doing a show with Bischoff.
Yeah, doing a show with Bischoff, who I'm sure has dealt with his fair share of overrated top people. Yeah.
When I first saw that video, my whole thought was be like, if this motherfucker says Sting, I'm gonna have to find him. Be like, no. Actually, Sting is overrated. You fought the finish over a 10? Okay.
Yeah. So up next,
one of my favorite things was when Sting did the Rebel Heart ALS challenge, and he said, "I'm working on my 10." And that popped me. I was like, "Good on Sting to still just sticking the Bischoff being a dumbass."
It's funny. Avery Styles. So Natalya ended up sending a tweet about Avery Styles, who is AJ Styles' son, about how he is paying his dues, and I guess like maybe he showed up to the dungeon or something like that, and she was basically putting him over. He's going to be
her dungeon or Stu's dungeon.
It's one and the same now, brother. That is the dungeon now.
No. I'm talking about that basement with that pipe with that supporting beam in the middle. Not that shit out in Tampa that she got. That ain't. That's the dungeon LLC. I'm talking about the real dungeon.
Yeah. But Avery Styles worked at GCW show, and I guess he was either suggested or asked could he set up some chairs and stuff like that, and. I don't know how it went. I guess he was too Hollywood or whatever. And then the thing was, I guess he didn't help. Or as far as something you do around a show, if you're a young wrestler, blah blah blah. So Natty sets this man up and starts talking about him on Twitter, and then like Eric Cannon basically sends a tweet and is like, hey, like. This guy, what is he talking about paying his dues? Like he was like hiding in a locker room and like didn't want to like basically help set up some stuff, before the ring. And then AJ Styles jumps in, and AJ Styles is like, he didn't get paid he got paid to show up and wrestle, not to do nothing else, essentially. And then it turned into this whole thing where the entire fucking WWE fan base started yelling at this independent wrestler. And then just basically, like, it turned into, in my eyes, just some tribalism shit. Like, that's all it really ended up coming down to. And mind you, there was no AEW person involved, so it was like, huh? Like, but the thing was, the people that were defending this guy or whatever. It was just like the residuals of the fan base of WWE. Like, because like when I hear the story on his face, I'm like, they just asked you to set up some chairs and then you act in Hollywood. And meanwhile, like over your next career, these are going to be probably guys that you're going to see down the road, and they're going to have to make you look good because you'll probably be a star, Avery Styles, at some point. If things hold for you, you'll get every opportunity. These guys are going to help you make look good and stuff. And it's like, how doesn't it like compute? And then like AJ Styles starts giving like terrible examples. The more I hear AJ Styles talk, the less I want to hear. Look, by the way,
it don't make sense, but it ain't gotta make sense because that's his son.
Yeah, it's and like,
that,
right, man.
I agree with you. He's saying nonsense, but that's his son, so it ain't gotta make no damn sense.
Yeah.
And that's a part when it comes to athletes, entertainment, or just in general growing up. Like when your parents got to fight your own fights, it's never a good look.
Yeah,
and not saying that not saying Avery asked for AJ to say something, but
he didn't ask for none of this.
But his dad,
he didn't ask for Natalia.
Right.
He didn't ask for Eric Cannon to go public with it. Mm-hmm. He didn't go ask. I don't know if he asked his dad to jump in or not, but chances are not.
Right. And look, I'm of the opinion that me personally, it's a slight bummer that he doesn't want to help, but it's not the end of the world. But when it comes to these discussions, everyone wants to do the time honored tradition stuff, and it's for some reasons people that's never done any of the time honored traditions. It's odd, but yeah, it's like it's a slight bummer he doesn't want to help out with the chairs. You'll live, right? Like we're not. Look, this is not Japan. It's not Meiko Satomura introducing the guy. Beating the shit out of you until you run away at the middle of the night, under the veil of night, and then you come back and you run away again. Okay, this isn't Gaia in the 90s. All right, it's not the same thing. It's not Tam Nakano doing air squats in the cold until she catches cyanosis. Okay, it's not the same thing. Relax. So it ain't like none of them girls are getting their ass beat by Nanae Takahashi like Kairi and Mayu was. So yeah, or what was the story about Hogan? It was a lie story. The lie story that they broke his leg and came back. That lie.
Yes.
Yeah, it's none of that. Right. The business is different, and I get it's a bummer that he don't even want to help with the chairs or whatever the story is, whatever. But at the end of the day, it will be fine. This was not necessary. This could have been something or I think he said I did reach out and talk to him. He didn't want to do it. Okay, once you reach out to it, then leave it alone, or your Twitter shit gonna blow up with bullshit. If you, I get it. It sucks that the dude didn't want to help out. But you want to blow up the spot ain't gonna help you by pissing off AJ Styles. So yeah, I get it. Like it's just a lose-lose. Just move on and call it a day. From what I've seen of Avery Styles, he look like a talented dude. And like one part that people are forgetting about this is he's fucking 19. We talking about someone that was born in 2006 or 7 or some shit like that. Can we give it a break?
Yeah. It all just broke up into this wide nepotism in wrestling thing, which I think a lot of it kind of activated something that people I think reject. And then you saw the NXT Nepo babies all linking up and
Lexus
flicking
King.
Up. And Cody Rhodes sent a tweet about it, just like.
See, now I didn't. For me, I did not care about this and did not want to touch this at all until Cody tweeted out. Because what happened was
we already set up the shit.
The dude showed a picture of when Cody was on the Indies and he was sweeping up thumbtacks out the ring, right? And keep in mind, at that point in time, Cody is on a politician campaign for people to like him on the Indies. So that ain't exactly the same thing as
he was buying people pizza.
Exactly, he's buying pizza for people and meet and greets. Yes, so. Anyway, Cody sees his picture in it. He's like, all right, well, if you want me to say it, he obviously gonna give cover to fucking AJ Styles. And AJ Styles' son, he's like, look, as a person that grew up with not having my father home for all this stuff, he's already paid his dues by his dad, what he's contributed to this business. And I saw that, I was like, this is the most nepo baby thing I've ever seen. Cody, you should have not sent this one. You don't. That was just gross.
It's disgusting. Like I hate it. I hate it.
That was gross.
It's just like, and I think I think the independent level, the thought of it is such a, like, okay, this is like, it's not the major leagues. So on the independent level, it's altruistic. The real best of the best will, emerge, so to say, right? So I think people see the quote unquote free pass that he's already getting, and it's like, okay, they could just send him to the performance center, but AJ Styles is not a dummy, not to just
they don't teach people how to work with a damn.
Yeah, so he's putting him elsewhere at different things, train him outside those walls first. And basically, like, they're like, hey, will you take him for a booking, blah, 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 and just, do whatever.
Yeah.
So I think people are like bucking back against that larger idea of the nepotism, and then like, you know, Zilla Fatu debuted this week, and then it's like there's a new Samoan like supposedly after him that might be out there. So like there's like
always new Samoans.
Yes, so it's like you're never getting away from the nep, like for one, especially in WWE. You never get away from the nep. Like there's always another one coming. You know.
Look, and they don't stop fucking each other. So you look, Montez and Bianca just had a kid. Look, there's Quill Gargano. Like, look, this is gonna continue. You be like, I remember that name. Why is that last name familiar? Like, oh, that's so and so. That's how this business has always been. Eric Gagne.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What was it? I'm sorry, what was Greg Gagne's son? Because Eric Watts. What was Greg Gagne's son's name? I can't remember.
Eric.
Was it Eric?
I think there was Greg and Eric.
Okay. All right, there you go. Like that's always been the case. Hell, we just about Dakota. There's Dustin the Natural. Like even though those two worked out, you get my point. There's always been nepotism. Raquel Rodriguez. Is it Gonzalez or Rodriguez? Rodriguez. There's all of that second generation, third generation, all that shit in wrestling. Always. It's only a matter of time for you to get the fourth.
Yeah, and it's you know, a lot of people was chiming in with their thoughts on it, and it was just this. I think, look, if it was me, I would have probably set up a few fucking chairs. Like, it probably wouldn't have been that big a deal to me. But, and like,
Rich,
this is like, you know.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you remember when me and you watched Rich Swann's last indie show in Brandon?
Yes.
You remember what we did after the show?
We broke the fucking ring down, didn't we?
Yes, we did! Yes! Like some fucking marks!
Yeah.
We actually sat down and set up an interview with Sue Young at the time, but yeah, like that's we as someone that's paid dues in this business.
Yeah.
I've
helped set up a ring before.
I don't really care.
Yeah.
It just like it's one of those things where that sucks. It happens, but tomorrow will be a new day.
Yeah. So it's like I don't know. Like I hope that whatever happens with Avery Styles, he'll be able to fight his own battles one day. Like AJ got to stay out of this shit. Like, and maybe it was a deal that AJ or Eric Cannon is a peer AJ Styles, and Adrian is like, hey, you don't be talking to my son like this, but like, hopefully Avery's ready to do his own thing.
Hey, Rich, how old is Cynthia Cooper? 50 what?
She's got to be in her mid-50s because she was 34 in 1997 as a rookie.
Okay. Just asking. Anyway, move on.
Yep. So Dynamite last night was in Las Vegas. James, this was a weak show. I don't know what this one was. The crowd was very strange. On top of a bunch of things, I think the Kenny and Will segment was a dud.
I don't know what happened.
I was just
I watched it. I was like, "What is going on?" I am confusion.
I was like, okay, so I think people were like just wrong about whatever they think the Callis involvement thing is. I think the Don Callis thing is like it was a plot device to get them in the ring together this week only or whatever. But I question that because I feel like you already have the natural reason for them to either be around each other or, because they're wrestling for the world title in like 18 days. I don't think you need a Don Callis setup save segment where Don Callis just like cuts his promo to remind you of like, the times Will Ospreay was a fuck nigga and the times Kenny Omega was a fuck nigga. Like, I was like, what are we doing? Like, this is unnecessary. And I was like, and I thought Will's promo was weird. And then, it was like he was saying the stuff about Kenny not showing up. But I was like, I don't think they really rocking what you saying is Will. Like, that ain't like they love him. Like, what are you doing? And then Kenny was talking in the anime villain voice. And that was like coming out there
yes,
saving him with the pipe. And I was like, they don't it was like, all right. you know the energy that Kenny Omega had when he took the belt off MJF, like as this babyface and this heroic thing, and like it feels like a waste to waste that. And I know he has to quote unquote lean in or whatever to sell the match, quote unquote, right? But man, it's I feel like there's booking around this that I have hated. And when Kenny Omega comes off of his belt in 18 days, we will have to ask ourselves, will that have been worth it? He got one title defense, and then they kind of just blew through a lot of goodwill, and it's going to be, I don't know if Will is like, I don't know if it's a weird crowd or whatever. I know Will can do all the wrestling. It was a weird crowd,
but I ignored that, and it was still like, I don't understand. I don't even get this. I don't know what part of this is based on what the story you've already told. I don't know where we're headed. There's only 2 weeks left. What the fuck is this?
Yeah,
like,
and it was
Will
like
Ospreay is too close to the finish line to be still having to learn fucking lessons. 2 shows after this left before the main event. Like, the time for lessons are done.
Like, we should be running to... This should feel like the biggest match in the world, James. Does it really, like, feel like that? Or does it just feel like, okay, can y'all hurry up and bring August 30th so we can get to the fucking match? It doesn't feel like that. Like, it doesn't... we're sitting here, it's August 13th, and I'm like, I should be frothing at the mouth at the thought of Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay in the ring together at fucking Wembley.
Chat, get him. Get him, chat.
Like, I should be like, you know, on edge, and I'm just like, all right, I guess we'll wait and see.
I don't
for the
know
match.
I don't know what Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay have to do with you being on edge, frothing at the mouth, but but teach your own. Yeah. I'm just I was just expecting a good pro wrestling program between two of the greats. I wasn't expecting all that.
Bro, like, and then if you think about how it felt like before they like was about to fight at the Dome, like that is so like miles in front of everything that they've tried with this, and it's just like it feels like it's
slaps. And now they cooled that down.
Too many cooks in the kitchen, and quite frankly, it's like sit these guys down one more time with fucking I don't even know who. You can't say really Jim Ross anymore, or like. Have them do a fucking preview tag and then like add the women in it just to be funny or whatever. Like I sent a tweet. I was like, can I get Kenny Omega and Divine Dominion against like Will Ospreay and the Brawling Birds in Glasgow? That shit has like 800 likes or some shit like that. So like, yeah, man, it's just like
all funny games till Windsor takes a V trigger.
Yeah, like this ain't what I wanted it to be.
I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, like it's just not, and it's like the time that they have. At least the ticket's
still moving.
They are.
I think that shit. If it were me, that shit would have ceased once I saw that. What the fuck are they on right now?
Dumb luck, you know, blind luck that they still happen to be moving, but it's just like. I think I'm gonna wake up. You know, I don't. Is it August 31st or whatever? I'm like, damn.
Is it the 28th?
You know, it's the 30th. That show. Okay. So wake up the 31st and be like, damn, the big Kenny Omega run. That was it. Like, well, goddamn, you know.
Yeah, man, it's a total mess. Like,
and then Will is just like.
This one was bad because
I'm very concerned about Will.
This one was bad because it's one thing for Will Ospreay at this point to still be. You don't know his motivations or stuff. I don't know what the fuck Omega's doing now.
Yeah,
I don't get why he's saving a guy while still a little broing him after he slapped the shit out of him a bunch of times, and I don't get it.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of how he started acting before the Tanahashi match at Wrestle Kingdom 13.
Okay.
I think. And it was just like, huh. Like, it was like you went from like a normal person kind of to like, it was like extra evil kind of. It was like, and it may have just been the vocal tone or whatever. And then it was just like, but it was like, all right, you still save the guy, but it's not.
But he's saving him by doing it's like he's literally like trying to learn how to be a champion through these lessons he's learning while through Moxley, through the neck healing thing, and then also through Ospreay of like, you won't pull the trigger, so like this is why you end up getting laid out by me slapping the shit out of you, by you having crisis of conscience, now you're gonna choke me with the Death Rider's bag, by now you getting attacked by Callus again and whatever else, and it's like all these like ghosts of Christmas past, and like I'm here to save you at every step of the way, while I'm also telling you you're a dumbass. It's like, okay,
I'm cocking the pipe back, putting the pipe over my head, pause, and then like acting like I'm gonna hit you with it, and then Ospreay cowering in the corner, and it's just like, this is not the visual, like this. They couldn't have wrote this on paper and been like, that's it. This had to have gone wrong.
This is the weirdest Jedi training I've ever seen, bro. I'm not getting into it. I'm not going to explain it, but Rich, like, the apprentice learning from all of these masters, and like like at what point? Well, shit, you watch Karate Kid. At what point did Daniel-san learn start fighting? Like, maybe we should have learned this earlier. Or maybe he has shown us that like he has his grip on what his emotions, what his control. He hasn't had any of that. Like, we thought he had to have these slapback Omega 2 weeks ago, and now it's like we're going right back to he hasn't learned enough. It's like, god damn, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
it's really odd. It's really odd.
Like, I don't. I just don't. It's like Will. It's like the ethos of Will. It's like the second he has that shit, it's like
it's in tatters.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's I wish like it should feel a lot better than this, and it just doesn't. And look, I hope there's no interference in the match. I would hope, Mr. Booze. He says, you think all this extra build is going to lead to interference in their match? I think that would deflate their match if it doesn't stay a clean one-on-one. It needs to be clean.
Yeah.
And if it isn't,
like if the whole point is Will Ospreay a week ago or 2 weeks ago, or basically since Redemption, being like, I can't trust the Death Riders, I can't trust Adam Page. I want to have a blow off match in Ring Mexico with a whole bunch of weapons without anybody's help or whatever else to prove that I'm my own person, and then go back to this interference in the match. It's like, well, what the fuck then? Like, if there's any interference on anyone's part, it needs to be like someone helps Kenny Omega retain the title. That's the only way that interference will make sense at all in this story. But if like the Death Riders come down the ringside like they did against Swerve, then it's a failure as well.
Yeah, it's just I think they've thought about this entirely too hard. And look, good thing that the last remaining get out of jail free card for this, or the last lever they can pull, is perhaps like, the greatest wrestlers of each of their generation are wrestling each other, like, and they'll figure it out on game day.
They may have the greatest match that ever happened. Like, that's fucking dumb. That's bad. That's not good.
Yeah. It's like, bro, like there's like they should basically, like, I believe a good story will, like, going into it, will have us already floating. It basically, right. It gives you like a sense of like, all right, this is a fucking 100-mile race that we got to run, right?
That's why the first two
30 out the way.
That's why the first two matches work so well. That's why the first match is the best match of the decade so far.
Yeah. It's like we could have 30 miles in the can before they ring the bell. And then they're determined to go out there like, you know what? How about 5? And then we'll get to 95 in the match. And it's like, it don't have to be this hard, but yeah, I'm not feeling it. Like, and I can't, like, I'm as big a fan of both of these guys as there is. 10 years ago, Kenny Omega won the G1 today. So it's like, Great Devlin, $20. Appreciate you, man. He said, I know you think the mock stuff is what ices this main event. I realize it's not that. There's no increase in heat compared to the last 3 times these two feuded. Yes, counting the trios tournament match, they had fire. Yeah, remember Kenny Omega cutting them promos on them, basically like, you'll never replace me. Like, and then they got there a little bit with that one promo, but maybe they peaked too early and they just ran out of stuff. I brought this up before, Will, to where the thing with the Moxley thing, for me, if Moxley was actually Terry Silver and he was like not pure with his intentions or whatever, it would have worked for me or whatever. Because in Karate Kid, like, eventually, like, he's like, why do you have me fighting this wooden dummy? Like, and then there's like this snap point where he was training him improperly. So there was nothing from that. It was just like, yeah, and then John Moxley was right. So Will, you're just you on your own and you're a dumbass now. So have at it. Go headline the show. Go win the world championship now. So, like, inspire people. Like, I don't know what's happening. Appreciate the super chat. Yeah. It's they've got a lot to do. And they don't have the time. So we'll get what we get.
No. They had plenty of time. They crashed the car. Match will be great though. That's undisputed. But
yeah.
The stuff that makes it something that's remembered for decades down the line, that's in 1 and 2. That ain't going. In 3, they'll be like, the bill was cool. Like when people put it up on YouTube and clip up stuff for the history of this, they'll be 1 and 2.
They ain't clipping nothing else but the slap and like
pretty much. Yep.
Yeah.
You have to do a WWE production team edit of this to try to save this.
Yeah,
and maybe it'll look good as a video package, but the actual experience of watching this from week to week, it was badly paced, and then by the time it got good, it just quickly as it got good, it got bad. It stopped. It unraveled.
Yep. And a 3-way for the gauntlet. MJF back in action. Feels weird for me almost when MJF's just regularly back in action, just in a regular match, like not a title match or something. He's just working a match on TV against Nick Wayne and Speedball Mike Bailey.
Are you saying he's your forever champion in AEW?
I mean, he brought the belt out, like, you know, like the one true champion. I think he's calling himself now, and
that's disgusting.
You know, he gets to wear the belt. Like after Kane doesn't come out with the belt.
Is that shirt real or just some?
It was a meme.
Shit?
Yeah, it was some fake shit,
okay.
But I could easily see MJF seeing that shit and then being like, AEW shop, go ahead, press me up one of them.
Think how many dumb shirts he has. Like, he has a shirt about, like, I'm better than you in Spanish for Andrade right now. He has tons of hacky-ass shirts like that.
Yeah. Anybody loves some hack, you know.
That's why his ass belongs to Stanford.
We got he ended up winning, pinned Nick Wayne in this, I believe. They had a nice little match here, and Paul White on commentary is hilarious. And there was a part where MJF was asking him for help up, and then Paul White was like, "I'm busy right now, and I can't. Unfortunately, I can't help," or something like that. But I think Nick Wayne. Look, how would you feel about like Nick Wayne being like the first defense for Will Ospreay on TV, and just basically to get the ball rolling on the eventual Ospreay and Nick Wayne thing down the line?
You mean like the 3 days later on Dynamite? You mean
if he's not too broke up for a 3 day later, or maybe like a week later, or 2 weeks later, or something?
I'm just making sure you don't mean pay per view. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, okay, just want to make sure. Like, hell no, are you kidding me? Sure, why not? Whatever. Let little Ospreay wrestle Big Ospreay. Why not?
Exactly. You know, well, it's funny. It's like we need like the Pokemon evolution chart. We need like Nick Wayne at the beginning, then like
Nick Wayne,
Kyle Fletcher.
But Kyle Fletcher's bigger than
Ospreay.
It don't work that way.
Kenny.
Okay,
how's it go?
There's more than 3. There's okay,
yeah.
Fair enough.
Divine Dominion cut a little promo on the Brawling Birds. I feel like this is the most telegraphed match of all time.
What do you mean?
Like, bro,
What do you mean a women's tag team match where two women are from Britain and they're going to wrestle in Wembley Stadium? What are you saying? Are you saying that they're going to win? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I feel like this match was only like put together. Like, all right, think about like when the Brawling Birds were put together. They were put together in like January. Like, and they like
kept away from
have
the titles
never
when they were the clear number one contenders for months. Yes,
they were never brought anywhere close. And then like Divine Dominion just beating up bums for forever, and it was just like y'all just like it was like they artificially held this match off when it should have happened like times already.
And like Redemption or something, or not Redemption, should have happened in like Dynasty or some shit like that.
Right.
Yeah. Double or Nothing. Yeah, absolutely.
So I had Mick Foley and talking with Jay White and the Bang Bang Gang, which was kind of funny. But then we had David Finlay versus Jay White, and brother. I told y'all David Finlay wasn't, it was not going down in AEW. I told y'all. I came on this show 5 months ago and was like,
send them back.
I don't see it. Send them back. Send them to the Fed.
Steel's brought back.
Send them to the Fed.
Send them back.
This Jay White too. Jay White too. He want to put them karate pants on and all that. And what the hell was that? They gave these niggas Dynamite real estate, and I was like immediately like, I don't care about this New Japan feud. That like this pandemic era New Japan feud, bro. Who gives a fuck? This shit was so mid, and I was just like, why are we doing this on the road to All In?
When they brought them out at like 8, like maybe around like 8:40, I was like, oh, it's bottom of the hour. Tony Khan knows.
This is aggressively mid.
Yeah, man.
Like Finlay wanted to go to WWE anyway, so like. You think we can still get that deal with Rockefeller? Like,
it is. Look, man. Just because they was white and they was in New Japan does not mean they need to be in American television. Sorry.
I feel like it's kind of a validation for a lot of things I've said about both of these guys.
Look, man. Jay White was really, really good his first year in AEW. And then he had the injury, and he's coming back, and he's a new character. He's a flat-out babyface. And I'm not going to sell my stock on Jay White on his best behavior in AEW because that's a good damn wrestler. But he needs to... there are some people that just aren't good babyface, and he's not one. He's going to have to be... unless he figures it out very fucking quickly... He needs to be a heel. It is what it is.
Then Finlay, like the dogs have struck out repeatedly. I'm like, can we just keep Gabe Kidd and then like send, Finlay wherever the fuck? Like,
hey man, look, I'm not saying you gotta fire him. There's always Ring of Honor. Take it over there.
Yeah, I just don't think,
take it to a theme show.
Look, what was happening on pay-per-view. This is his first singles match, James. This is the first time he got to work a singles match in the company, and they were like, "Yeah."
And he was in there with Jay White.
I wonder if it was sabotage by any chance, like
they was trying to fuck over Jay White.
Nah, like they was trying to send both of these dudes out there and be like, "Oh, see, we gonna give y'all Dynamite. We gonna say go have y'all match." And then we gonna see what y'all do with it. It's up to you.
Oh, man. The thing that's fucked up is like they've had better matches.
They've had a lot of matches.
I know. It's a mess, man. It's a mess. It is what it is. Let's move on. Like,
yeah.
When they started pushing Finlay. Shit was shaky. It wasn't consistent, and then He wanted to leave New Japan, and that's his right. But just because all your homeboys over here don't mean you need to be over here, because your homeboys are some of the best wrestlers in the world, and you can't run that race with them.
Yeah, we
saw that in Japan. What made you thought you can run a similar race in America? You should have took his ass on to wherever else. But whatever, he got. Look, here's what we can say. We can't say he never had opportunity. He got the opportunity. It didn't work. It didn't. He had fair chances. He got TV time. He got put in there with the dude that was over, and in the process, he's helping make the dude less over. Like, I used to see constantly from the time he showed up and it was officially All Elite. I used to see people would tweet about every week, Jay White, AEW, future AEW World Champion. I don't see those no more. Thank you, David Finlay. You may have killed off a guy that has main event potential. Thank you. Shit. And it's me out here riding for Jay White right now, defending Jay White. I don't even like that dude like that.
Funny. It's almost like we kind of know what
Jay White can't
talking about.
Jay White can't say this, but I can. Sometimes it be your own niggas.
Speaking of your own niggas, my own niggas, Swerve is back. He shows up as they introduce Brodito and Hangman Page. Hangman Page had a look of happiness and whimsy. It was whimsy, and then all of a sudden, there was the that guitar lick for Swerve shit, and then the entire expression on his face changed. So Swerve comes out and he gets in the ring basically, and was like, "Hey man, all three of y'all trauma bonding essentially, and y'all got these belts now." And, we battled out for the last decade, Brody King, me and you, Bandito, we tore it up, but ultimately I whooped you, and all this history comes back to you. And then when Swerve and Hangman go face to face, it feels electric again for a moment in time. But Swerve continues and says, you got everything, basically... I take my eye off of you, and you all of a sudden you can't even challenge for the belt no more. What's wrong with you, essentially? And then Swerve or Page basically said, all this heinous shit you've done this year, you don't really have any room to talk with that lack of results that you have, or whatever. And from there, the demand and the lethal twist came out. Ricochet interrupted. And then there was just a lot of back and forth interplay between Ricochet, Swerve, Gates of Agony, kind of like zipping that, tying that little story up, like talking about how Ricochet took those guys in, won belts together, blah, blah, blah. When Swerve was walking past Ricochet, they said they wanted a rematch first, and basically they told Swerve to get out of here because everybody out here hates him. Essentially, I thought it was pretty funny. And then Swerve walked away with the hands up, like, I think that's a gif. I actually need to clip that. It was almost remind me of that Cuba Gooding Jr. where he's getting escorted out by the cops.
Oh shit!
And something like that. So he walks by, and then Ricochet's like, "Get the stepping." Yeah, and like you can hear like that Kentucky accent. It'd be cracking through. It'd be funny as shit.
So go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so like, Swerve basically wraps it up and was like, Brody King might be doing all the barking, but Ricochet's the one being a bitch. Drop the mic, and then kind of an angle set up here.
Okay, so this seemed like a time where Swerve was supposed to say something along the lines of, you ain't even got, the whole locker room hates you, and he should have said something like, well, I got some friends on the way, but like that never got dropped, and I'm just like, okay, so then what was the point of this outside of just having Swerve and Hangman make Tumblr go nuts?
I think that was to basically put Swerve in that dynamic around the trios belts and then basically run him out of there. And I think him walking out of there with basically that kind of, he basically, all right, y'all got it, but I'm gonna be back though. Like, and
but that's the thing. He
presumably
didn't say,
he's bringing some people.
But that's my point. It's either he never alluded that there were people on the way, or he got a trick for to get back into this. It seems like he just wanted to talk shit and then left.
Welcome back. Look, stars, welcome. You know, it's kind of been been a while since we've seen Swerve on TV.
No, I'm saying I get it, but we're only 3 episodes away from the fucking show. If you're gonna do it, like, do it now.
I guess not. I guess that you know, look, you never know how these things work. You know, depending on who's coming in.
I'm not saying expose your hand. I'm saying at least let us know you even got a hand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I would.
You can
I
drop.
would say,
You
like,
can drop the hint later.
Look,
at least say you. It just seemed like it was just a coincidence. All this shit happened.
Yeah, I think, you know, there will be. Look, if there was going to be the reveal, I'm glad it didn't happen in Vegas in front of that crowd.
No, but I'm not even talking about a reveal where you give the hint out. I'm talking about just as far as like, okay, you ain't got to tell somebody you got a gun in the trunk. You just say, all right, I'll be right back. He didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? He just left. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's I don't know. We'll see. You know, if it's a deal where Swerve comes back with multiple partners and trios operation, you know, I think it's like, I think the guys will probably make, you know, the best out of it, and we'll probably get a really fun match. And I would think, you know, if Swerve is being positioned in trios, presumably with partners that may be on the way in, or whoever the fuck it is, I don't know.
I mean, people on the internet already talking about it.
Yeah, they're talking about his New Day and all that. So let's just operate with the idea that it is the New Day and Swerve. I have quite a few ideas of what can be done with them, and I think they have, you know, a lot of exciting things, you know, planned right there. And I think the big question is, like, because Swerve's been very in and out, I think, this year, and, you know, there is always the potential for this thing to be like, man, the trios belts have been kind of these, despite all the great wrestlers that they put them on this entire year. Like, if you're going to do something like Swerve and a New Day having those things, maybe they actually, like, get back over again and actually mean something for the first time since the Elite had them. Who knows? But there's a lot of built-in things you can do. I'm interested to see how it goes, but at the same time, I want them commanding. If it's going to be a group or a faction, they need to be commanding lots of time. And I think Swerve's been radically underexposed this year.
I mean, yeah, because he hasn't been on TV enough to be exposed. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So you know, we'll see when everything rolls out. But I'm still in wait and see mode on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. You remember back in the day when me and you used to make a joke about, like, Dean Ambrose was when Adam Sales wasn't doing too good. Who did I tell you to come see whenever Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns ain't going well? To send Dean Ambrose to kind of save him. Like,
yes.
At this point, I think it's pretty safe to say that, like, Swerve is one of those guys, is a fixer in AEW, and the idea that, like, they have not used him that much this year, like, mind-boggling, given that this ain't been some perfect storyline year in AEW. It's been good, but Jesus Christ, we just kicked their main event of the biggest show of the year in the ass for 15 minutes straight just a second ago.
I think Swerve has been used as, like, the ultimate glue guy. If you think about the main event, both of those guys got some of their biggest wins against Swerve this year,
right?
And he was the obstacle for Ospreay to climb over, and it was like, I think Tony Khan's got in a position with Swerve where it feels too. It's almost like you got to give this guy something. Like, and I think there has not been enough time dedicated to and time, creative energy, and ideas for admittedly one of your biggest acts on the roster. And quite frankly, I look at it, I'm like, if you're Swerve, I'm like, how do you, just from my perspective, I'm like, he's always a setup guy, always a setup guy, always a setup guy, always a setup guy, always a setup guy at this point. And combined with the long absences, it feels weird. And the fact that if he's getting an all-in match, right, it's a 9-man match.
Yep. Not only is it a 9-man match, it's a 9-man match where you're deploying Swerve and Hangman to it.
It's like a lot of dudes that you didn't really have either ways to get people in the ring or reasons to get them in the ring, storylines to get them in the ring, worthwhile matches to have to get them in the ring.
Yep. If only there were rankings. The part of the first 3 months of this year was that everybody wanted the title, so all this stuff kind of felt interconnected with everybody trying to vie to get MJF's title off him, and then basically once Darby got the title, it all kind of went just haywire.
Yeah,
a lot of the side quests and stuff end up being a mess, especially for Will Ospreay.
Yeah. I would just say whatever happens in the outset with Swerve and, say it's Swerve and New Day, that the time's dedicated, the creative energy is dedicated, and it's focused. And, I hope, and I think it will. I think there's something exciting on deck, presumably, if they head that direction. But there's a lot of guys that are on this roster. So, a lot of people can step up and be great at any particular time.
And then you have the factions. You have whatever order of Death Riders can be a trio. You have whatever order of Collaboration that can be a trio. You have whatever order of Callis family that can be a trio. So yeah, there should always be a stable division because you have enough horses to make this work. It comes down to TV time and then all right, what is important right now?
Yeah. And it's who gets on the outside looking in. So I hope Tony Khan understands the kind of value that somebody like Swerve brings. I mean, somebody that is a awesome talent that will put people over without problem, without fussing, without finding weird ways to lose. None of that. Clean the shoulders. Tap out in the middle of the ring, in the middle of Wembley Stadium. I don't know, man. So I hope there's care put into this. And just based off this one segment, I don't know if I have an answer for that yet. Right. Because I don't think it went over like gangbusters. But it was oh, yes.
Because unless you're on the internet, you don't know what the fuck's going on.
It's yes, we're happy to see Heyman and Swerve face to face. But it's you are using the Heyman Swerve. You are prostituting the Heyman and Swerve dynamic to get the rest of this stuff around it, to bring it up. It's all right, man. If you want to Swerve and Heyman next to each other, but you don't obviously want to book the match for obvious reasons, it's it just feels I think people are gonna try to find their own joy in it, and even in the Social Suplex Discord, you could see how excited it made people to see them on screen as adversaries again. And I'm my question would just be, all right, is there actual creative energy behind this?
And I don't know the answer. Are they going to make eyes with each other every single fucking year, or can we get some time between it? Can they find other people that make them interesting besides them? I mean, Swerve done that. Heyman's had some trouble at points.
Yeah,
but they never let Swerve get something to breathe outside of bringing him back to Hangman.
Yeah, I think Swerve is he's got the Ospreay stuff. He did it with Kenny this year. He's look, man. But
yes, you're right. They're one-offs, or not the Ospreay, not the Omega stuff, but the Ospreay thing is a one-off. I'm talking about hey, when does he get a chance to build a full-on rivalry, a new rivalry with someone, as opposed to this is part 2 or 3 of a trilogy. You know what I'm saying? it just hasn't really happened. And I mean, quite frankly, that's the case for a lot of stuff in AEW. Like, there is no, like, what is your favorite non-title pay-per-view feud?
Okada match, like.
No, I'm saying, like, you used to get like Hangman Page in 2019. We got Hangman Page versus Pac.
Oh, we got belts now, James. We got a belt for everyone. We got a national belt. We got a TNT belt. We got an international belt. We got a continental belt. And this isn't a too many belts argument. Is that these belts don't mean nothing. That's what I mean. They're just belts they're trophies. Belts
are always the trophy, but I get what you're saying. Like, they're not important because now, like, you're not even getting like you're getting contenders of the month in title change, as opposed to like what feels like a building of a rivalry and hatred that you want to see them wrestle 3 months in a row. I mean, and especially at this point now, because there's a pay-per-view every month, so yeah, you're gonna have to go 3 in a row, whatever else, and get a winner of a feud and move on. We haven't got that. We keep getting stuff like just here and there, and there's nothing. It feels like they don't put enough focus on this stuff to where it's like that, like to where, at least compared to the care of a few years ago.
Yeah,
and maybe that's just a byproduct of all the damn pay-per-views now. I don't know, but it don't feel the same.
Too many cooks in the kitchen. It's just like a lot of masters to satisfy, and it's just like it's like one part of the card like starts affecting other parts of the card, and then there are people that if you line it up, if you write all the names down on like a graph, you'd be like, do these people ever interact? No. Okay, we can mark that. Well, if you wrote all the people down, and you could probably figure it out.
There's a shit ton of
like, this is why AEW is booked the way it is, and it's like, I wish it wasn't. So, I don't know. What else? Mercedes and Willow Nightingale, that they did an attack backstage, and Mercedes beat up Willow in a way where I was like watching. I was like, brother, it was I didn't know what I was watching for a second, James. Let's just say that.
Yeah, you sent me something like that. I was like, oh, look, man,
why did I enjoy this so much?
God damn it. I saw that and I was like, bro, I don't know what you watch. I don't come across with whatever reminded you of that you said reminded you of that, because I was like, I stay away from that dungeon stuff. Okay, I don't know what you talking about.
Look, I do too, but maybe it's I was like, hold on here. Whoa. Mercedes Willow, what y'all doing?
Was it that she was wearing black leather? Is that what it was?
I don't know what it was, man. It was real aggressive. It was violent, and it was like, I saw the wear, and it's, the thing was, look, I don't know what it reminded me of. That's the thing. Maybe it's something I need to find out.
I think we're too deep in the game for you to be learning this. I think it's a little too long for an old dog to learn new tricks like that.
I just saw the segment, and I was like, woo. I was like, is this what is like when Tony Stark watched the men? Like, this was
oh my fucking god.
There was something I was like, there was a little extra to this segment, it felt like. So then we got Kevin Knight and Chris Jericho at a TNT title match, and this was fun. I thought it could have been better, but we got a Jericho reunion out here.
Yeah, the crowd popped for that. Hey, man.
That was funny.
I don't think there's really much to talk about in this match outside of the part where Don Callis fucked up this finish so badly.
Yes.
So badly.
Yes.
It is simply Jericho has Kevin Knight in the walls of Jericho. And at some point, Don Callis is going to get up on the apron and stab Jericho with the screwdriver, which leads to Kevin Knight getting the win. But for some strange fucking reason, while Jericho has Kevin Knight in the dead center of the ring, and Callis comes out way too early and jumps up and rolls into the ring, and the camera catches him rolling into the ring, and he catches Jericho say, Wait! So he has to roll back out. He has to get back outside of the ring while Jericho move him in the opposite direction from where Kevin Knight want to reach to the ropes. And then he gets up and apron and stabs him.
Actually, kind of smart when you Actually, kind of smart when you think about it. You put him further from the rope. What?
Yeah, but once you see that Jericho shouts out to Callis, "You fucked it!" It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess I missed that part, but I saw people talking about it after the match. You literally see
Jericho, because the camera's right on Jericho. Like, I'm like, imagine me looking screen. That's how I was facing Jericho. Yeah. Jericho's yelling at Callis in the ring. Get out! Or wait! It was either wait or get out, and then Jericho has to walk him close to the ropes, and then he has to get able to stab him. I'm like, okay, all right. Callis, you fuck this. This is like are we talking about, remember how we talking about Yachty a couple at SummerSlam?
Yes.
Same thing. Is like, hey man, you have one job. Do not mistime this thing or we're fucked. And he fucked it. You got one job.
Look, there's an argument. Maybe they should have done a clean finish. They would have to worry about this.
Well, yes. But that's after you want to work with your buddy.
Yeah. I said, Rich, what does Jericho do at All In? I think he's going to wrestle Ciampa. I think they're going to do it again. I think Jericho's got to kind of have a match.
You don't think he'd be in the gauntlet?
He could be in the gauntlet, but I think Jericho's going to command a single spot.
I know one thing. He's going to have to get that pop.
Absolutely.
I know he's going to be in that show. I know that.
Look, stadium show, Jericho. But he gonna have a big entrance.
Look,
he might bring the band with him.
He might be David Bowie this time. He already did Freddie Mercury.
Yep. Who else they had on this one? And Chris Statlander fought Viva Van for some reason. Look, I've got a theory, which I will share with you off the air. They had a TBS match after that with Maya World and Thunder Rosa teaming up against Hikaru Shida and Persephone. I zoned out of all of this because I was like, this show is really bad at this point. And I was just like, I was waiting for them to wrap this show up. And, I got nothing for you on this, honestly.
4-way match next week. I believe it's Statlander, Persephone, Shida, and Maya World for the TBS title.
Yeah. Then at least for our main event, we got Jack Perry versus Jon Moxley in a match much like Cameron allegedly could have saved the album, saved the show. Jack Perry and Jon Moxley. First time match, apparently. These two had never had a singles match before. And, for AEW, anytime the few originals matches that are out there that are left, it's pretty interesting. I usually kind of like it. And I thought, this is a hell of a match right here. And Moxley ends up beating this guy to fuck up. But Perry stands in there a lot. And, Perry was commanding that dead crowd to wake up. And he was like flying off the top. He was bleeding.
Mm-hmm. He bleeding, getting the shit beat out of him. And then eventually he had to start standing in the paint and fighting Moxley. And then and he kicked out of a big move. And that's kind of what got the crowd. But yeah, this was a great match. Was it like a classic? No, but it was a great match.
Yeah, I think, referee's decision, pass out deal, I think. And Jon Moxley wins in the first round of the Jon Moxley Invitational. I hope Jack Perry gets to do something cool at All In.
Gauntlet?
He'll probably be in the gauntlet.
Yeah, gauntlet.
But, yeah, man, it's just, I don't know. This show here, this was a curveball.
This was a show that you could have skipped.
Yeah, they was rolling through in Detroit, Mexico City, and then this was like a come down, like from the high of Arena Mexico. This is like the reverse Arena Mexico.
Oh, we forgot to mention that they announced that they're going to do a triple threat match with Fletcher and Okada and Takeshita.
Okada. Yeah, that should be really great.
The match will
Understatement.
be incredible.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. Yeah, I didn't expect this week. I made a comment on Twitter. This was the reverse Arena Mexico, which may or may not have got me a DM. But it was pretty funny. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the first time Jack Perry going back to Wembley since Real Glass, I think.
Are they probation?
No. It's the second time. He went back the next year against Darby.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep. Who's closer to winning the big belt, Jack Perry or Jay White? Brother. I'll say this. If Jack Perry hangs around till his, like, how old is Jack Perry? He's like, what? He's in his late 20s, right? If Jack Perry hangs around long enough for it to be like some career achievement in his late 30s, the answer's still Jack Perry.
I don't know, man. That's a tough question. I don't think Jack Perry's ever won an AEW World Title. Because I'm not sure that CM Punk will be back at some point. so no, I don't think he's ever going to win the AEW World Title. So I'll take Jay White on this one. I'm sorry. I'll take Jay White on this one.
This is sick.
Like Jay White finna get a singles match. They finna get a singles match on Wembley. They gonna continue trying. They have basically said, "Hey man, grab a tarot, Jack."
Well, MVP be begging to work with New Day when they're in the dub. I don't know, but MVP gave a fucking interesting quote that I just had to fucking howl laughing at. Which he basically, I'm going to pull it up. I don't want to fuck the words up, but I saw something. I don't know if it was an interview that he did or if he was on his own podcast.
I didn't know he had a podcast.
Whatever it is. Okay, yeah. He's got like a YouTube channel, blah. He says that he would reject an AEW World Title run. He feels he cannot put on the level of matches he'd want. He said, if Tony said, hey, as a gift to you for your career, on the way out the door, I'd like to give you an AEW championship title run, I would say no, because I can't. At this point in my career, I don't feel that I could put on the level of match I will want to be able to put on with the young talent that I'd be working with to do justice to the title. Physically, I can't go like that anymore, and I don't want to work that hard. I'm spoiled now, man. My friends beat people up, and I talk about it. First, can we get a reality check on who the fuck MVP was in his career? This guy was because I'm so tired of people. This is a fake Legend Hall of Fame candidate right here, for one. And then two, he's not saying that because I'm gonna tell y'all what he really was saying there. He said, I'm not putting nobody over. I'm not losing that fucking belt if you put it on me. That's what the fuck he was saying. So like, come on, man. Who does MVP, like, I don't want to say who does he think he is, right? But he may fool some people. He's not fooling me. Like, this is not like we're not holding you in no reverence for, like, you did not have this historic, illustrious career. No.
Well, didn't he have a best of 7 with Benoit?
You were a United States champion.
I know. Okay, so here's my question, right? I don't know what the context of these quotes are. Were these unprompted or were these unsolicited, or someone asked him that and he answered?
I think it was on his show with his buddy, because on his YouTube channel.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm willing to shoot him some battle. Someone asked him that dumbass question, he had to answer it. You know what I mean? Because because outside of him, because him just saying that out of nowhere is insane.
That would be nuts.
If they were to, I was like, no, it's like no one's going. That's not even.
No one was ever asking you this.
Anybody offer you that shit? Get out of here.
Yeah.
You know what?
Who the fuck you thought you was, Kobe? Like, they don't love you like that.
Look, man, it's like saying, hey, you know, Rich. Like, if Beyonce offered me a slice of pussy, I would turn it down and respect the hoe. I just can't. I think it would mess up their family, be bad for her business, be bad for her legacy, for her to come out as being a good wife all the time, for her to just to give James Boyd some pussy.
It'd be great for One Nation Radio.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I just respect ASAP Rocky. just couldn't, respect the Will Smith. I just can't really
respect the Nipsey. You want to keep going.
Respect the Nip. Yeah, definitely that too.
Respect the Kobe.
I was only mentioning black women, but you didn't have They be trying to get me with set up a white woman in their lower here anyway. Already, you adding to it anyway. But yeah, man, he's out of his mind. He's out of his mind. If that's the case, hopefully someone asked him this question. He's just answered it. Because outside of that, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yes, they were like, I hope he didn't just unprompted be like, you know what? They can put the belt on me if they wanted to. Like, what? How would that work? I don't know.
Can someone do me a favor and look up how many matches MVP's official matches he's had in AEW? Has it even been 4?
I think it's not even that. Right. I think I looked up his cage match page. Right.
Oh boy, I see why you look. I can imagine why you called him a fake legend. That cage match, I guarantee that cage match is not
we are going to do a live ONR metric on this bitch.
Does his rating? His overall rating start with a 7 or a 6?
Woo, you gonna see? Let's see.
Is that a 6 or an 8?
That is. Hold on, it's bringing up the wrong person.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
7. Okay. All right, now see that. Now look. Now goes to the.
Now we gonna look at the real one.
Look at the facts.
We gonna pull the nigga Carfax. Here we go. We gonna test the diamond tester right here. So I'm gonna make the screen bigger.
Look, you say diamond tester. Look, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. So here we go. So, match guide. James.
Is that the sorted? There's no way that's sorted.
That is not sorted. Okay. Here we go. It is now sorted.
All right. I see a lot of what look like rumbles at the top of this bitch.
Them things is Royal Rumbles on the top of that bitch. Like you see this? Y'all see this? I have to zoom in.
Yeah, zoom. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
There's a lot of Royal Rumbles on this bitch. Those are all the 8s. Look, his ONR metric is 0. I
see a whole lot of links tied up in the matches. I see a whole bunch of Rumble and multi-mans.
Shout out to Swerve carrying him to his best singles match ever.
Was that the 5?
Yep.
Okay.
Chris Benoit, MVP, 3 stars from the Observer, and then 7.21.
What year was that?
2007. Avery Styles may not have been born yet, James.
Damn it.
Let's just do the singles matches. How about that?
Shit, this is gonna be nasty.
So we gonna do.
It's getting kind of hectic. It's getting kind of hectic.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Here we go.
Ooh, boy, I see a lot of brown and yellow quick.
I see yellow on this bit. Like this is who was saying he wasn't gonna, like, he couldn't put these matches on today. He couldn't put them matches on back then. What is he talking about?
Yeah, man.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Like, and even setting aside from like era dependent for reviewing matches for that or whatever else, like, he was not the style of wrestler for what the AEW audience really would enjoy at the top of the card in his prime, let alone now when he's walking around with a cane, whether that's a gimmick or not. So yeah, I don't know what. Look, he had to have been asked that question. MVP ain't no dummy.
Yeah, like, nah, man. This is a crazy question, Rich. It was MVP to Trick Williams in his day. I mean, like, we was younger, like, he did have the body, but then they made him cover it up by the time he came to WWE. It was weird. He was on the. You ever seen that entrance when he was in TNA and he's like jumping out, and then like they're playing this weird ass music. It's an all time gift.
I missed that whole era.
I missed it too, but I saw the clip. But Yeah, Trick wins at his day is wild.
I think that's insulting the MVP, but
but yeah, I think that's it. I think I done stepped in it enough. So yeah, we can wrap it up there.
That's it.
Another entrant to the Fake Legend Hall of Fame, MVP.
All right, thanks for listening to the show, y'all. That's the end of it. If you're watching from the stream, be sure to go to the show notes with the podcast up and go to the Red Circle link in the notes, and you can donate there. And be sure to listen to other shows on the network besides One Nation Radio. You have Keepin It Strong Style, All Things Elite, AEW Match Guide, the Trish Center Wrestling Podcast, Tunnel Talk, Imps Adventures, Joshi'ing Around, and Wrestling Out with Chris Things. Thanks for listening, y'all. Later.
Peace.